For listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and...
Good evening, I'm Matt Blackburn and welcome to Frankfurt for what is bound to be, on paper, a goal fest. It's Eintracht Frankfurt against Bayern Munich. Both sides have been breaking records in the early stages of this Bundesliga season, and there's plenty more of them to be broken today. In just 16 games combined this season, these sides have been part of 90 goals, with Frankfurt games averaging just under 6 goals per game, and Bayern Munich just under 5. But they come into this one, Eintracht Frankfurt, off the back of quite a sobering defeat to Atletico Madrid during the week in the Champions League. And whilst they've broken their own records for goals scored at these early stages of the season, they've done the exact same with their defence as well. And what a game to come up next for those defensive frailties. But they aren't known as the Moody Diva for nothing. Their unpredictability in results is one of those that will certainly be on show, we would think, today. They line up with a 4-5-1 formation, with Kua Santos getting the nod ahead of Michael Zetterer in goal. They've got a back four of Buta, Koch, Theatre and Brown. A midfield five of the Japanese Doan, Skiri Uzun, top scorer, second in the Bundesliga, as well behind Harry Kane, Larson and Bahoya, and up front is last season's top scorer Burkhardt. Bayern Munich themselves can be the first team in Europe's top 5 leagues to win their opening 10 games for the first time in history today, and with their goal-scoring prowess, it's hard to argue against it. Harry Kane beat Ronaldo and Haaland to 100 goals quicker than anybody else last weekend and continued to pile on the goals against Paphos in the Champions League during the week. 17 in 9 games to start the season for him, and he starts up front as expected for Bayern Munich, who line up in a very familiar 4-2-3-1 formation. Ever-experienced Manuel Neuer now just 2 games away from Oliver Kahn's 557 Bundesliga games starts in goal. The back four of Frenchman Bowie, Upamecano, Tah and Lema. Sitting in front of them is the partnership of Kimmich and Goretzka, who know each other very well, both 30 years old, both German, and both started a Weak Kick Corona charity a few seasons ago. Sitting in front of them is a midfield trio of Elise Gnabry and former Liverpool man Luis Diaz, who had an excellent start to the campaign. 4 goals for him in 9 games. And up front, all on his own, he doesn't need too much help in that position. It's Harry Kane, the man with 17 goals and 3 assists to his name. And he is breaking records left, right and centre this evening. Plenty of players for either side to bring on the bench. Frankfurt have the substitute keeper Zetterer. They've got Amanda Collins, Højlund, who's got a twin brother that plays at Schalke, and also the younger brother of Rasmus Højlund of Napoli. They have Chaibi, Mario Götze, a former Bayern Munich player, also had 2 spells with Dortmund, Knopf, Wahi and Batshuayi on the bench as well. And for Bayern Munich, the ever experienced backup goalkeeper for Neuer, Ulrich, Minjai, Guerrero, Kiala, Bischoff, Lennart Karl, the really exciting 17-year-old German, got an assist against Hoffenheim, 34 goals and 11 assists for him in 30 youth games last season. He is certainly one to watch in the future. Pavlovic, Jackson and Mike are the final ones on. For Bayern Munich, sorry, just looking at Mario Götze for a moment. As Vincent Kompany, he starts to make his way out. The referee for these formalities is Daniel Siebert, and he's supported alongside assistants Jan Seidel and Raphael Fulton. Fourth official Tobias Reichel, and the VAR, hopefully not in use too much this evening, is Benjamin Kurtus, and he's supported by Justus Zorn, hoping that he can provide maybe a little bit of justice for one of these 2 sides this evening. We're coming up to 6:30 local time here in Frankfurt. It's a very pleasant evening after quite a wet day here in Germany. Bayern Munich in their white away kits, slight red stripes just going across their chest. And Eintracht Frankfurt in their familiar black and red home strip as well, with stripes there, black shorts and black socks. Referee is happy with those formalities that have taken place. The players line up, and it looks to be like Bayern Munich will be the ones to get us underway. As we're looking, Bayern will be kicking off from left to right. Frankfurt, if you've not worked it out yet, will be going from right to left. And this is one that I am certainly excited for. If I was a betting man, I probably would put 0-0 after we know the amount of goals that these two sides have both been involved in. 30 goals in the league for Eintracht Frankfurt, both scored and conceded. 47 if we include the Champions League and the Deutsche Pokal as well. And 35 scored, 8 conceded in all competitions for Bayern Munich. But we are underway at the second time of asking, and Bayern Munich and Manuel Neuer send it long down the right hand side, looking for Harry Kane, who gets the early flick on, asking for some questions. It's come back towards Kane on the right hand side, drills it across the box, and it's already 1-0 to Bayern Munich 18 seconds into this game, and it's Luis Diaz, and we said there was going to be goals, and we've not been disappointed straight away. The 5th goal in 10 games for Luis Diaz. Bayern Munich wanting to capitalise on Dortmund's slip-up earlier this afternoon with their 1-1 draw, and Luis Diaz is the man there at the far post. It came straight away from the kick-off. They went back towards Manuel Neuer, sent it long, looking towards Harry Kane, unmarked, nobody looking for him on the corner of the area. He got the initial flick on. It came back out to the right-hand side. It was Gnabry who sent it across the 6-yard box, and Luis Diaz peeled off his man at the back, stabs it home. It was almost saved by Santos on the line. He couldn't quite get himself across. Diaz slipped initially when he's got to it, but he's done just enough to find the back of the net, and Bayern Munich have the lead inside 20 seconds. It's Eintracht Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 1, and that is the frailties we were talking about in the Frankfurt defence. Their last game in the Bundesliga, they scored 6 unanswered goals before Borussia Mönchengladbach put 4 past them. They conceded 5 in the week to Atletico Madrid in what was a sobering defeat. And well, that's their 48th goal involvement this season, and the 44th for Bayern Munich. They keep adding up in these games, and what a game we have in store now here. It is Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 1, early doors, and Luis Diaz the man with that goal. And I'm trying to calm myself down a little bit, but I don't think it will be, as Frankfurt try to come at the other end with a pop shot from the edge of the area, but that's not going to trouble Manuel Neuer in the goal. It was Uzun, who has got 5 in the league himself this season, sitting behind Harry Kane's 10 league goals. The 19-year-old, 8 goal contributions this season for him. As Frankfurt have had to replace a number of key players that they have lost. Ekite went to Liverpool, as we're sure we're all aware. They also lost their captain goalkeeper, Kevin Trapp, who went to Paris FC in the summer. He's pushing on a little bit now, but was a vital part of Frankfurt's back line, and they've been trying to work out the start of this season who they're going to play in that goal. Michael Zetera, the 30-year-old, he's played 3 appearances this season. Santos in the league is making his 3rd appearance as well. He joined last season from Flamengo, and he's not going to keep a clean sheet this afternoon, as Bayern Munich have it over on the far left-hand side, just trying to work it around Buta on the halfway line, who's forced to go back towards Santos in goal. Back to Theatre, under plenty of pressure on this near side from Elise, and sends it into Bayern territory, but there is Tar to get his foot onto it. Goes a little bit backwards, but Lema is there to clean it up. So I said at the start, if I was a betting man, I'd probably put it on 0-0. Well, that's why I'm not a betting man, because 17 seconds is all it took for me to be quickly put in my place by Luis Diaz. Excuse me. That early goal setting a dry throat straight away. It's good first 4 minutes into this game. Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 1, as Frankfurt just tried to get themselves higher up into Munich territory, but we know how well Bayern Munich are at defending leads They've taken the lead in every single game. As you can expect, they've won all 9 games, but they've scored first in all 10 games now that they've played this season. And it could well be a record for Vincent Kompany. Their 7 league wins in a row for Bayern Munich under Kompany's leadership. That's their best record for him. Looking for that 8, it's Munich's best run since they were 14 wins in a row under Hans Flick in 2020. But there are still plenty of goals in this Frankfurt team, and we know that they will cause trouble for Bayern Munich. As we look at some of the scores from earlier, which is why we were saying it's a bit of a hit, really, a free hit for Bayern Munich in the league. Dortmund drew 1-1 earlier on this afternoon, which means a win for Bayern would put them 4 points clear at the top. Augsburg as well in one of the earlier results, as it just comes out towards the left-hand side for Frankfurt, just trying to whip one into the box. It comes off Boeing, goes out for a corner kick to the home team on this near side, so a chance then to put some pressure on the 39-year-old Manuel Neuer in the goal. I'll run you through what those earlier results have done for the league table and for both of these two sides after this corner kick is taken. It's on this near side, whipped in towards the middle. It takes a slight deflection on its way through, but it is cleared out towards the left-hand corner of the area. Back with Bohoya, sends it towards the right-hand side. It's flicked on in towards the area. It's allowed to bounce by Upamecano, and he's going to do just enough to see it out for a corner kick. Again on this near side. He was under pressure from Burkhardt coming in behind him. Managers just to shepherd it out. Didn't want to do too much under that pressure. The header came across the goal. Upamecano was facing the wrong way. The corner kick comes short back to Bohoya. Lays it across towards the edge there, and then the shot is a poor one from Buta. Taking it on to his right under pressure rather quickly, and it goes high, wide, and not very handsome from the Frankfurt right back into the Bayern Munich fans that are occupying the stand over to our left-hand side. Frankfurt fans in their wonderful black and white scarves and flags towards the right-hand side. They still feel they can do quite a lot in this game, and of course they should be able to. 83 minutes are still on the clock. Bayern might have an early lead, and they might be in exceptional form this season. They do have some defensive frailties of their own. They have kept just 3 clean sheets in the 9 games they've played so far. That'll be something that Vincent Kompany will be hoping that they can start to improve on. I think that's the only thing really he'll be looking for them to improve on. They've scored plenty of goals throughout the opening start of the season. They've scored at least 3 goals in the last 8 games, Bayern Munich, and they've got 1 already this evening. Sent towards the right-hand side for Bayern with Elise just getting a slight flick on, trying to find Gnabry. He can't quite get the initial first touch and control right, and it allows Frankfurt to come away with the ball under a little bit of pressure though from Harry Kane just inside their box, and pushing it towards the left-hand side again, and pressure continues to mount for Frankfurt at the back, and it's picked off by Elise. Space in the middle for Harry Kane if he can pick it out. He's got all the way through and it's come off the bar. He's flicked off Koch at the back as Elise tried to feed it through in towards Kane. He floated back in towards the box. Diaz clatters in towards Santos. He's looking for a potential penalty there, Diaz, but I think if anything it's going to be a foul the other way, and the pressure was just mounting on the Frankfurt back line. It was Elise that stole the ball, picked the pocket, tried to play it in towards Harry Kane, who would have had a simple tap-in for his 18th goal of the season. Robin Koch got there first, and it bounced off the upright. Santos nowhere to be seen for that one. And it was almost 2-0 inside 9 minutes here at the Deutsche Bank Park. But in the end, it is a goal kick to the home team. So as I say, we'll look back at some of them earlier games, and it's any time the ball goes forward for either team, it is an exciting one here. Something just seems to be on the tip of the tongue. And again, it's been lost at the back, this time by Dortmund towards Burkhardt. He slips first time. He's trying to just feed it across towards Skiri, who comes across, feeds it in towards the box. There is Neuer, and it's just cleared out towards the left-hand side for Bayern once again. And they're under plenty of pressure at the back. So I'm going to quickly run through what happened earlier on. So Augsburg moved out to the relegation places after their win, and they moved above Wolfsburg in that 3-1 home win against Wolfsburg. As Elise is trying to drive forward towards the edge of the area, trying to find the 1-2, flicked on towards Diaz. Diaz just being pulled back slightly in the box. Harry Kane's got his arm up looking for another potential penalty, but again, nothing been given. It's been cleared back out towards Neuer, sent in towards Upamecano just inside his own half. Leverkusen, they moved up to 4th, going above Frankfurt, pushing them down into 6th place with their 2-0 win over Union Berlin. As it's sent forward again towards Kane, and he's put it into the back of the net, but the linesman's flag is up on this near side, and it was an obvious call in the end from the linesman. Harry Kane just a yard or two off. It was a sent long, just looking for his run over the top, took one touch and absolutely hammered it into the bottom corner. But the linesman flag rightly goes up on this near side. And an early goal as well for Werder Bremen. That secured their 1-0 win to move them up the table to 11th place as well. But this is an exciting opening 11 minutes here in Frankfurt. It's Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 1, but could well have seen 3 goals already in this game. It's with Diaz on the left-hand side, driving in towards the area, flick back in towards Elise. He can't get there ahead of a well-defended centre-half there from Koch, who's back once again, doing his defensive work, and Frankfurt are able to clear towards the halfway line. Burkhardt just gets the slight flick on, but across comes Upamecano, and he's just going to put the ball out on the near side for a throw-in to the home team, who want to just settle their nerves and settle this game down a touch. They are under plenty of pressure at the back in this opening few exchanges of this game. I'd like a little bit of a respite, just have time to breathe, and as I say, that a free kick goes over on the far side to Bayern Munich as Diaz is just pulled back 5-6 yards inside the Frankfurt half towards the left-hand side of the pitch. And Munich tried to take it quickly, but it was brought back. A stoppage in play. It looked like it's just took a slight kick in towards the back, and a pull as well on Diaz over on the far side from Buta. The referee deems no further action. Daniel Siebert, the referee. It's the first time he's taken charge of this fixture since 2015, when it finished 0-0. He looks like he's going to be plenty busier today. My English right, I was going to say plenty more busier, but that is completely incorrect. As it's sent by Neuer towards the left-hand side. Bayern Munich just trying to reset themselves and work their way forward once again in towards Kimmich. Drives forward and draws out Uzun, who's doing a little bit of defensive work higher up the pitch. Back in towards Upamecano, links up well again with Kimmich. Pressure being applied by Frankfurt. Kimmich again towards this near right-hand side with Upamecano, what appears to be more of a back three than a four for Bayern Munich, with Upamecano on the left, on the right of it, Tar in the middle, and Lehmer over on the left. Bowie just playing slightly higher up the pitch than he might normally have been expected before this one, and he just goes into the back of Bohoya as soon as we mentioned him, just inside his own half, and commits the foul. As the free kick goes long towards the right hand side, as Frankfurt trying to take it quickly. It's taken down well, driven towards the right hand side, pulled back across towards the edge of the area. The shot comes in, it's mistimed, it's misshot, and it is 1-1. And what a goal for Frankfurt. They are level. Bohoya, who was fouled just moments ago, won the free kick. It was sent down the right hand side. It was pulled back across towards the edge of the area. It was mishit completely, going across the box back towards Bohoya, and he's first time from the edge of the D just puts it into the top right corner of Manuel Neuer's goal. They're looking for an offside Bayern Munich, but they're not going to get it. It was a beautiful ball down the right hand side. Great work from Shaqiri, he plays it back across the box. Sorry, it was Buta who got the first touch. It was played back across. So Doan played it back across the box. Plenty of players all around everywhere here. And Doan just laid it on a button initially for the shot to come in for Larsson. His first time attempt was a poor one. It goes across through towards Bohoya, and he just tucks it into the top right corner of Manuel Neuer's goal. And the goals are flowing here 15 minutes into the game. It's Frankfurt 1, Bayern Munich 1. And what a start we have here. The referee is taking names in the book. It looks like it might be Kimmich. It could well be a Frankfurt player. We're still waiting for a potential check to be made. Larsson gets the assist on it, completely unintended. In the Premier League, Chelsea are beating Liverpool by a goal to nil. Caicedo with the goal there, as this goal is being checked. The referee is going to come across and check this one. It might well have been a handball from the young Japanese player Doan. It came across, his first touch was excellent. It's then bounced up, and it looked like it has just come off his hand. Yes, I think that's probably going to be ruled out, as he's tried to pull it back the first time to get past Lehmer. It's come off his hand. It's allowed him to control the ball again, and that will certainly be the decisive moment. Benjamin Courtois called across Daniel Siebert, and he is going to give his verdict. And what was thought to be an equaliser from Frankfurt is going to be ruled out for handball. It stays 1-0 to Bayern Munich, but that will still give Frankfurt hope that they can do more in this game. And it just came down for him. His first touch was excellent. It bounced off his left hand, and he does know it, does Doan. It just bounced up. He gives a wry smile. It was a good ball back across the box. An excellent tidy finish from Bohoya. The 20-year-old was hoping that might have been his fourth goal of the season, but not to be. 17 minutes in, it stays 1-0 to Bayern Munich. And they'll be relieved with that one. Their own defensive frailties seem to open up over on that far side. It was a quick ball down the right. Lovely ball laid back across. But not to be for the home team. Munich trying to get the ball out towards this right-hand side, looking for Elise. Just couldn't quite get the control right. Comes off the Frankfurt man, but he wins the throw-in nevertheless. Back towards Kimmich. Into the middle towards Goretzka. The 30-year-old. He's it across towards the left-hand side, but it's lost by Luis Diaz. Just couldn't quite get his pass right at the back, and goes back towards Thietra, who sends it back towards Santos in the goal. And it's a head-to-head record between these two sides that Frankfurt will want to improve this evening. They have only won 7 against Bayern Munich in 45 meetings. 5 of those have been here at the Deutsche Bank Park, though, as a long-range effort. Tame and easy for Manuel Neuer from the edge of the area from Uzun. Just didn't quite have the accuracy or the power behind it on his left-hand side. Munich have won 30 of those 45 meetings. But one of those 5 wins at home that Frankfurt have had came in December 2023. They actually lost 7 games either side of that 5-1 win against Bayern Munich here. Thomas Tuchel, the manager, in charge, and as an Englishman myself, it always gives a little bit of pain to see the England manager appearing in records that you're not necessarily wanting to be a part of. Questionable choices from him in the England lineup this season, resting a few, but the lack of Jack Grealish, quite a questionable one. Henderson over Wharton as well. Germany picking their side as well, picking some names as they try to get their qualification improved. They've won one, lost one in those opening first 2 games. They won't want to be adding some question marks to their qualification campaign, and even though it should be fairly easy for the top teams in Europe to qualify with the new regulations and rules of more teams being involved, those playoff places are already there, and even if Germany don't finish bottom of their group, they'll still go into the playoff places because of the positions they finished in the Nations League. It's Frankfurt on this list. I just tried to break the way into the left-hand side of the area, but nothing comes of it, and it's straight to Manuel Neuer in the goal. As we look back at the goal, and Goretzka was the man who's gone into the book. It's just been confirmed then. That's his 2nd yellow card of the season for the protest. Before the disallowed goal for Frankfurt, as soon as the ball hit the back of the net, he raced straight to the referee, did Leon Goretzka. And Daniel Siebert not best pleased with that. A yellow card for the Munich number 8 as Elise just gets himself down the right-hand side, wins a throw-in in a really good attacking position. The one thing Bayern Munich don't have, which a lot of teams have implemented this season, or returned to the implementation this season, is the long throw. Something I've always been absolutely fond of from the early days of being a youngster. I am 33. Of watching Rory Delap cause trouble time after time again in the Premier League. He used to be Arsenal's worst enemy during that period. Teams used to actually put it out for corner kicks to avoid Rory Delap throw-ins. They were that effective for Stoke City. As a long ball goes down the middle, but just slightly overhit, looking for the run of Luis Diaz. Santos comes out and commands his box really well there. Lays it short. But Frankfurt under pressure immediately from Gnabry, and Elise. It's pulled towards the left-hand side towards Nathaniel Brown. He manages to turn and sends it long, looking for the run of Burkhardt. He's challenged in the back. He's protesting to the referee, but nothing is going to come of that one. And Bayern will come away with the ball just inside their own half with Tar. Jonathan Tar, signed from Leverkusen in 2024. Over 50 caps for him for Germany. Keeping up to date with some of the games across the top 5 leagues this evening. Liverpool could well lose 3 games on the spin. Are they slowly being found out this season? They've got away with a few of their results very late on from Salah goals. Wirtz, after he's travelled from Germany, as it's pulled down the left-hand side, and excellent work from Lehmer. Just tried to skip through one, got past 2, but then really good defensive work from Buta on that right-hand side. Just comes across and cuts out the danger. Munich trying to break their way forward again. 15 yards inside the Frankfurt half. In a central position is Goretzka. He feeds it out towards Diaz over on that left-hand side. Full of confidence is Diaz. He scored in the opening 3 games of the season. Looking to be the first player to score in the opening 4. But he wasn't to be. That game against Hoffenheim, the one he just couldn't find that added touch. But he has got his 5th goal in 10 games for Bayern Munich. It's sent towards the right hand side looking for Elise, but good interceptive play on the left hand side by Theatre. Elise, nice little back heel, plays it in towards Bowie. And he loses out again, and Frankfurt able just to chip the ball forward towards the halfway line, but there is nobody really there. Burkhardt trying to scramble across and do some defensive work, but it's comfortable for Upamecano to send it back towards Manuel Neuer as we come closer towards the 25th minute mark in this game. It is Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 1. The goal inside the opening 17 seconds. The difference between these two sides, it's set down the right hand side towards Elise. He's just trying to skip past Brown on the near side and wins the corner kick in front of that barrage of Frankfurt fans. He takes it quickly towards the edge of the area, looks in towards Goretz, who sends it in towards the box, but it's comfortable for Santos to claim that one on the edge of his 6-yard box under no real pressure. I think that was rushed more than anything from Bayern Munich, trying to catch Frankfurt off guard. Santos did well to stay lively and aware in his area there. Over on the right hand side with Buta. His early stages, he has been as you would expect. Bayern with the possession, but just like in the first half against Hoffenheim the other week, the majority of the shots have come from Frankfurt. Bayern Munich could well be 2 to the good at this stage. The cross from Elise that came back off Koch. It came off the crossbar. Could well have snuck under. But not to be as a loose pass in towards the middle, picked up by Burkhardt. Sent back towards Skiri. He's under touch of pressure back towards Thietra. In towards the middle, towards Ozun. Spreads it across towards the right-hand side to bring Skiri back into play. Links up well with Burkhardt, but Burkhardt's pass back to him. Not a confident one as Boya tries to do some work on this near side to put the pressure on Bowie. It is just enough as he comes off him and out for a throw-in halfway inside the Bayern Munich half. It's spread quickly towards the left-hand side. It's with Lehmer. Gives it in the middle towards Gnabry. Over towards Luis Diaz. Tar on the halfway line. Central. Sends it left towards Gnabry again. Brings Lehmer into play. Slow, methodical play from Bayern Munich here. Just trying to probe and find a way through. It has been now towards Diaz on the edge of the area. He's got Harry Kane to his right hand side. Space for Kane to shoot. Space for Kane to score. And he continues to add to his goal scoring prowess this season. He didn't need a second invitation from the edge of the area. It was Diaz who picked the ball. It was methodical from the back. They played it through from Goretzka in towards Diaz on the edge of the D towards Harry Kane, a couple of yards outside the edge of the box. Takes one touch, opens up his body and just fires it into the bottom right corner of Santos's goal. It's 2-0 Bayern Munich. It's Harry Kane's 18th goal in his 10th appearance this season. There is no stopping the Englishman, and it's a well-taken strike into the bottom corner. You do not stop those, and Harry Kane has doubled Bayern Munich's lead. 28 minutes on the clock. Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 2. And it was just excellent football from Bayern Munich from start to finish. They worked it from their own penalty area. They passed it around, just tried to open the space. They had the movement, they had the bodies going forward. On the halfway line with Tar, he sends it in towards Goretz. Goretz turns one touch in towards Diaz on the edge of the area. He had a thought about maybe going himself, but he was sensible enough, laid it off towards Harry Kane, and from there we're seeing it was a 4% goal probability. I'm not too sure with Harry Kane it's that low. I would have probably put that at about 60% from that area. No one got to him quick enough. He had plenty of time, plenty of space. He picked his spot and he buried it into the bottom right-hand corner. 2-0. Munich lead. And Harry Kane just continues to score more and more. And we'll mention his position in the Ballon d'Or. Apologies, I don't remember if it was 11th or 13th. Either way, it is criminal that he was not even considered for a top 10 place in that Ballon d'Or. I would question the top two to start with, from Dembele and Lamine Yamal. Personally, Vitinha and Rafinha had better seasons than both of those two players. I'm sure some of you listening may disagree with that one, and you have every right to. But Harry Kane certainly not being up there. A bit of a shocker. But as we are in a World Cup year, the excitement of Harry Kane in a World Cup for me, an Englishman, is one I'm very excited by. I'm also slightly terrified he'll get injured a week before the World Cup. And we'll have to rely on a couple of the other strikers who aren't as in that lucrative form that Harry Kane is in. He's probably scored more goals this season than any of those other English strikers may put away all season. He's scored at least 2 or more on 7 occasions this season. 2 hat-tricks to his name this season. And we can't forget those 3 assists as well. What can Frankfurt do here? But right now it's with Elise, who's just trying to lay it across towards Harry Kane. It's went towards Lehmann. Lehmann's got space with Diaz. Diaz tried to pick his spot, but just couldn't quite wrap his right foot around it. Ends up scooping it more than anything over the bar. It was well worked again. His foot just couldn't get high enough. Looked like it may have just bobbled on the pitch in front of him. Couldn't create the angle as he tried to look for the top left-hand corner of Santos' goal. He'd have got 3 points in a rugby game there, but nothing for that. In the beautiful game as a free kick goes Munich's way, 10 yards inside the Frankfurt half over on the far left-hand side, and the referee having some words with Ozun for the foul just in the back as he just protests that one as well. As they send it towards the right-hand side. Back in towards Upper Mekan, just inside the Bayern Munich half is Tar. Trying to link up well with Kimmich. Kimmich under pressure from 4 players, sends it towards Bowie on this near touchline. Hugging the touchline as well is Elise, under pressure from 2, work back towards Bowie, but he just takes a little bit of a kicking. Elise wins the free kick, and the referee again slowing the game down. Bowie tried to take it quickly, but not in the place where Elise was fouled, so Daniel Siebert brings it back 10 yards forward as Bayern get on with it quickly. It's a poor pass towards the left-hand side from Kimmich. Lehmann has to just scramble to keep that one in play. Does well enough to do that, and back towards Manuel Neuer. He's sitting higher up the pitch, halfway inside the Munich half, and he's still as agile and a sweeper keeper as ever, Manuel Neuer, even for his age. As Kimmich able to drive towards the edge of the area, but it's intercepted well as he just tried to feed Elise on the right-hand side. Cut out well, though, at the back from Nathaniel Brown. It's cleared out towards this near side as Goretzka feeds it in towards Gnabry. Over towards Elise. A little bit of a step over, back in towards Bowie, and it goes out for a throw in to Frankfurt on the edge of the level with the edge of their own area. And Frankfurt, we mentioned their frailties in defence. They had the second worst defence coming into this game. They were just 1 behind Werder Bremen's 14. Werder Bremen winning by a goal to 0 means that they do now have the worst defensive record in the division. With that 15, as a free kick goes Doan and Frankfurt's way inside the centre circle. Theatre Sends it left towards Boyer. He's trying to stretch his legs, gets towards the byline. Can he put a good cross in? It's a tame effort in towards the near post, and it allows Upamecano to take a touch and clear it out halfway inside the Bayern half. It's taken quickly on the near side by Nathaniel Brown, but as Bayern do well, they've pushed out quickly and forced Frankfurt back towards Santos in his own penalty area. And here in the Deutsche Bank Park, it's been a great first 35 minutes of the game. Munich lead by 2-0. What is a wonderful stadium here in Frankfurt. Frankfurt itself used to be, in the 12th century, the seat for the Roman Empire. And it's built on the old Roman settlement of Nida. If you ever do visit Frankfurt, it is home to the largest book fair in the world. So if you like your reading, get yourself over to Frankfurt. 7,000 exhibitions is the typical amount. As the free kick goes Bayern Munich's way, Burkhardt was breaking forward. Kimmich got himself just ahead of man and ball. Got a little bit of a touch to it. Burkhardt gives him a slight touch into the back of the ankle. Kimmich goes down and the free kick goes Bayern Munich's way. As they come forward again with the ball. 10 yards inside their own half of Bayern Munich. Laid out towards the left-hand side. Under a little bit of pressure, brought in towards Kimmich. Lifted over the top towards Lima on the left-hand side. Drives in towards the area, just overruns it a touch. Harry Kane went for the overlap down his left-hand side. He thought he was going to try and feed in Kane, but he went on his own. Kane trying to draw out the players. As he does. Puts the fear of life into you. Does Harry Kane. Lima broke in. The defenders stayed with Lima though. Did really well. Did Frankfurt there to get the ball away as Kimmich turns his man on the near side. Across towards Elise. Sends the overlap towards Gnabry. Under pressure from two. Nathaniel Brown is one of them. Back towards Bowie, linking well with Elise, but a slight interception. Puts it out for a throw-in on this near side. I thought that might have been given the Frankfurt way, but it hasn't. It's gone by Munich, and it looked to be an offside as well. So if anything did come from Gnabry's ball down the right-hand side, then it would have been ruled out. But Bayern Munich still have the ball, looking for Harry Kane on the edge of the area, but it's intercepted by Robin Koch, the former Leeds man, signed on a free from the Premier League team. He was on loan from them last season during their promotion season from the Championship, and is signed on a permanent basis on this occasion. He's alongside Arthur Theatre at the back, the 25-year-old Belgium, as it's flicked round the corner towards Bowie, trying to struggle towards the byline under plenty of pressure from Boyer, who had that goal ruled out earlier in the half, and Frankfurt just can't quite clear the lines. Another throw-in, level with the edge of their own penalty area, but it's taken quickly and back towards Upamecano, just 10 yards inside the Frankfurt half. 38 minutes gone in this game. It's Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 2. It's with Tar. Sent it right towards Kimmich under some good pressure again from Uzun, who's been really quiet. The man who is the outlet really for Frankfurt this season. Burkhardt's got a couple of goals to his name as well. He's got 5 in 7 appearances for the club. But the young man is the one to watch, the 19-year-old German. There's plenty of talent that we're seeing this season from those youngsters in Germany. Lennart Karl as well is certainly one to watch. He's only 17, as Munich are trying to just feed it in towards the box. Elise held his run. If he had gone for that one, it was left by the Frankfurt centre half, allowed to go across his body, across the box, and as it just skimmed past him, it would have tucked into Elise's run nicely had he kept on going, but Frankfurt able to clear the lines, and Uzun wins a throw-in just inside the Bayern Munich half on this near side in front of the Bayern Munich dugout as Kimmich comes across with the sliding tackle. He's back with Frankfurt inside their own half. 6 minutes to go, plus stoppage time, of which we'll have a couple of minutes for that VAR check. And the 2 goals that have taken place so far. Ozun just tries to find a through ball for the runner, but intercepted well by Lehmer. But Lehmer's pass is a loose one, and it's picked off by Burkhardt. Sent it towards the left-hand side to Boyer. He's got some space to run into. He's got Burkhardt to his left. He's going to go alone, is Boyer. And that's a poor decision from him. He never looked too confident. He took it on to his right-hand side. The space was getting closed off really quickly by Upamecano, and he just tried to wrap his right foot around it. And that's high and wide. And again, towards our first goal being shown on the screens in the opening 17 seconds. And Dino Topmüller looks to the skies as that one went in. And a double look as Harry Kane doubled Munich's lead. And Dino Topmüller, a former Bayern Munich assistant manager under Julian Nagelsmann. He's also had a brief spell playing for Frankfurt. He'll be sick to death of seeing goals going in this season at this stage. Something you don't say too much in football, but they certainly have plenty of goals to their names as well, and they can come back in this game. It always feels a little bit unlikely when it's fed down the right hand side looking for the run of Buta, but he just can't quite keep up with that from Douan. I think Usain Bolt might have had a little bit of trouble even in his prime. Usain Bolt, the man who showed us that speed doesn't quite get you into professional football. He had, could you call it, trials at Dortmund and Man United. He went for some training. I think that's the best way to put it. But certainly had a few people thinking maybe if he can kick a ball, he might find a second career. A bit sort of Michael Jordan-esque, moving from basketball to baseball. Although I think that was more to do with the fact that he was likely going to be banned for a season, Michael Jordan, so he had to change sports for a year, allegedly. Usain Bolt just wanted to test himself, I think. 42 minutes gone on the clock here. Bayern Munich trying the methodical approach again, just inside the Frankfurt half, in towards Gnabry, but his passing towards Kane is just slightly ahead of him, just trying to stretch to reach that one is Harry Kane. It goes through towards Vieta at the back. He hits it forward, but there's nobody there for Frankfurt, who will be looking in the second half for a bit of a spark, potentially to come off the bench. They have plenty of goals to their name. They've got the 32-year-old Belgian Batshuayi, 192 goals in 500 career games for him. Not quite as prolific the Batman as he once was. Just the 3 goals for him last season. There's a slip in the middle of the park from Shqiri. Just allows Elise to get down the right hand side, but a really good recovering tackle in the end from Brown, sent towards the near side, and Gnabry just having a shot from the tight angle. For a moment it laid question towards Santos, but over the bar it goes from the corner of the area on the right hand side. It was dipping, it had the swirl and the swaz on it. Santos scrambling across his goal. He wasn't to know where that was going to drop. And luckily for him and Frankfurt, it went just over the bar as the long ball looks towards Burkhardt. It's like pulling the back from Tar, but the referee happy that there was nothing untoward from that one. Bayern Munich just try and protect the lead that they have going into half-time in Spain. Atletico Bilbao beating Mallorca by a goal to 0 to Milan. 10 minutes into the second half in their games against Cremonese, leading by 3 goals to 0. Chelsea still beating Liverpool as they approach half-time as well. Kicked off at the same time, 6:30 local time here, 5:30 over in the UK. Chelsea, a bit of an enigma. You could call them the moody diva of the English football Premier League this season. The results are unpredictable. The Club World Cup champions. And Frankfurt, known as the Eagles, that is their main nickname. But their unpredictability in results, and we've seen it time and time again this season. The Champions League, that 5-1 win against Galatasaray, matched with a 5-1 defeat to Atletico Madrid in the second game week of the Champions League, and 3 minutes have been added on at the end of this half. Can Frankfurt find something to get into the half-time as a bit of a pick? It's a nice lovely ball towards Burkhardt, lays it off nicely towards Buta. He's going to try and drive forward towards the edge of the area under plenty of pressure, back towards Burkhardt, but his shot is too high and wide once again. It was Buta who just kept running at the defence. Nobody seemed to be able to stop him. Tara and Upamecano tried to get across and cover themselves. It went across towards Burkhardt, but his strike too high and not going to challenge the goal as well. The number 9 who came from Mainz to replace Ekitike. They are different types of players. He's not as physical as Ekitike. He's certainly providing some goals, but he almost had excuse me, the Frankfurt fans on their feet for a brief moment. It's Frankfurt again. 90 seconds to go at the end of this half. Just trying to send it long down the right-hand side. It's going to skip forward nicely for Tar to pick it up, and goes back towards Manuel Neuer, scrambling across his goal line to get that one across towards Upamecano down this near right-hand side. Flicked on nicely in towards the middle, but good interceptive play from Skiri. Cuts that one out in the middle as they try and just work something under plenty of pressure. Just inside their own box here now, Frankfurt. They've gone all the way back to their own byline, and Bohoya wins a free kick on the near side from Bowie, who came across, tried to steal it from him, pick his pocket. Couldn't quite get there ahead of Bohoya, who goes down and wins the free kick on this near touchline. The 20-year-old Frenchman. It's sent long, but the returning header from Tar. Again, look forward, and Neuer comes out of his goal. Heads it down towards his right-hand side. It's the one thing he's always had. He was really the start of that sweeper-keeper era that we have started to see now, Manuel Neuer. His ability and his first touch have always been exceptional on the ball, the World Cup winner. He's been alongside Urek for many years as the Bayern number 1, and there is the half-time whistle. Bayern Munich started the game as they've started the season in goal-scoring form. 17 seconds is all it took for Luis Diaz to poke home a Gnabry cross. It was a few minutes later as well that it was almost 2-0. And Elise cross came back off Kosh onto the bar, and it looked like those defensive frailties from Eintracht Frankfurt were going to go from bad to worse. They went up the other end themselves, had a goal ruled out for handball on Douan, whose lovely ball across towards Bahayo was put neatly into the top right-hand corner, but ruled out by VAR Benjamin Cortus and referee Daniel Siebert. And then up steps Harry Kane on the 27th minute from the edge of the area. A methodically worked goal from their own half, split in the middle towards Diaz on the edge of the D, just lays it across nicely towards Kane, who takes one touch, looks up and finds the bottom corner of Santos's goal. There's plenty of football still to play in this second half. Bayern Munich looking to break more records. They want to be the first team in the top 5 European leagues to win 10 league games at the start of a season for the first time in history. And well, they've started in exceptional form to be able to go ahead and do that. At half-time here at the Deutsche Bank Park, it's Eintracht Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 2.
Audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.
The second half, as we just await a few of the players to come out for the second 45. It does look like there will be a change for Bayern Munich. Alexander Pavlovic, the Munich-born academy product, is warming himself up in his kit. So we can expect him to feature in this second half once that's confirmed, and who he has come off for. I'm currently just trying to rack my brain through potential players, and it may be that we're seeing make their way out here for the second half. But what can Frankfurt do in this second half? They have plenty still to play for. They are against the 34-time German winners, 12 of the last 13 seasons in their best start in the Bundesliga, and in fact they have the best start of any club in Bundesliga history. So Pavlovic is coming on for the second half, and when it is confirmed who he has made its way off for, I will give you the updates. I try and just tally up which players it may be. Bayern Munich will be kicking off, Frankfurt will be kicking off from left to right in this second half. Bayern Munich, by the power of deduction, will be kicking off from right to left. Daniel Siebert, the referee, going through his final checks with his officials, gets the signal, and at 7:35 local time, we are back underway for the second half here at the Deutsche Bank Park as Frankfurt look to get the game back on the way quickly down this right-hand side, hoping that they might have been able to have the same start in the second half that Bayern Munich had in the first half. That goal 17 seconds in really set the stall out for the game, and just had it confirmed, it's Pavlovic has come on for Goretzka. Goretzka has made his way off for the 21-year-old, which makes a touch of sense. Goretzka, the man who was booked after Bahoyo had his goal ruled out for a handball on Douan. Vincent Kompany taking no chances, and bringing on the young man, another exciting young German player, as good defensive work at the back from Buta sees it out for a goal kick. Just shepherds Luis Diaz out. Inter Milan leading 4-0 against Cremonese with 10 minutes to play in that one. Bilbao still leading by goal to just side of the second half there, and Chelsea and Liverpool back underway in the second half at Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea lead by a 0 from a Caicedo first half strike. Isak making his first start of the season in the league. So the teams then have been confirmed. Frankfurt again under a little bit of pressure on the edge of their own area. Harry Kane just forcing them back towards Buta, continues to apply the pressure. Good defensive work comes off Kane though from the clearance now for a throw, and it allows a little bit of a respite for Eintracht Frankfurt, who start the second half the exact same way they started the first, with Santos in goal, the back four of Buta, Koch, Thita and Brown, a midfield five of Douan, Shqiri, Uzun, Larsen and Bohoya, and Burkhardt up front on his own. And Bayern Munich making that one change. Pavlovic coming in for Goretzka, with Neuer in goal. Back 3 to 4 of Bowie, Upamecano, Tar and Lehmer. Seems to be more of a 3, with Bowie playing higher up. In front of them is Kimmich and Pavlovic. In front of those two is the 3 of Olise, Gnabry and Diaz, who's got a goal and an assist in the first half in this one. And then of course Harry Kane getting his 18th goal of the season in that first half, starts the second up front once again. So we spoke about Harry Kane in the first half. Ozun, who has 6 goals in 8 games himself. He scored, in fact, in every Bundesliga game. He's the only player in Europe's top 5 leagues to score in every league game so far this season. He'll be hoping that this second half can be fruitful for him, and he can continue that record this season. As a good ball goes forward, looking for Burkhardt, but intercepted well by Tar. Fed through towards Harry Kane, trying to take it onto his right, force onto his left. Still able to drive towards the edge of the area, but good recovery work from Goan allows a clearance down this left-hand side. But it's returned back by Tar towards Lehmer, who's high up the pitch here on the near side. Just plays it off Douan and wins himself and Bayern Munich a throw-in level with the edge of the Frankfurt area. Vincent Kompany, the former City player who won 3 trophies as manager. He won the championship in English football with Burnley. He's also won the league and the Super Cup with Bayern Munich. Brought in really for his style of football rather than what he had achieved. He received high praise in the Premier League for how he was trying to play with Burnley. Never really came to fruition for them. The quality of the squad excellent for the Championship, but not for the Premier League. One of the many seasons that the Premier League has seen the 3 teams go up, go straight back down. This season, is going to be slightly different, as the teams have improved massively, the three that have come up to the three that went down. Diaz trying to find his way through, wriggles past one, skims himself past two, feeds it in towards there, and it's almost tucked home by Gnabry. He just slipped as he tried to get his right foot around it, ended up just scooping it with the wrong side of his foot, going past the left upright of Santos's goal. But again, it was dangerous from Diaz. He had Burkhardt and Larson for company, skipped past both of those two, got towards the edge of the D, again unselfishly laid it off towards Gnabry, just in front of him to his right hand side, just tried to feed it into the bottom left hand corner, but ends up going wide of Santos's post and out for a goal kick. Bayern Munich, who have been consistently dangerous this season, they normally are, but even more so this year. They've scored at least 3 in their last 8 games. And they're one away from making it a run of 9 games where they will have achieved that goal. But it's with Buta, 10 yards outside his own box on his near side. Under pressure though from Diaz, and forced out for a throw-in right in front of the away dugout. And they'll go back in towards their own half here, Bayern Munich, with Tar and Upamecano linking in towards Kimmich. Pavlovic gets himself involved in this second half. He's had a few touches since he has come on at half-time for Goretz. Back over to the right-hand side towards Kane. Kane trying to slip the pass in towards Gnabry. Gnabry turns really well onto his left, but the keeper, Santos, comes out, gets a touch onto it, still into the box, over on the right-hand side with Elise, and his pass again looking towards Kane. Gnabry can't quite find its way through. But excellent work again. Kane fed it in towards Gnabry. His first touch seemed like it might have done Santos in the goal, but he got down well, got a hand to it, and just about forced it wide enough that it allowed a few bodies to get back and put Elise under pressure. But here come Bayern again, down the left-hand side. Whenever they look like they are playing slow, methodical play, Bayern Munich, we said that a number of times in this game, it is dangerous. They work the defence across the pitch. The ball goes with it as a foot just goes in towards the back of Elise. The referee comes across to have a word with Brown, happy for the game to play on. Over on this near side with Diaz towards Pavlovic. Into Kimmich. Moved from left to right once again to Bowie. In towards Elise. Skips past one, brings it back towards Bowie. Bowie tries to just dink it in towards the area, tried to just loft it over a couple of players. Back heel though over on the far side from Bohoya. Comes off Elise and out for a throw-in. And it was almost a wonderful bit of skill over on that right-hand side. Again, slow play. Ends up just picking Frankfurt off at the back. A lovely 1-2 between Bowie and Elise. Elise fed it back through in towards Bowie, who just scooped it, got his foot underneath it to try and loft it in towards Kane. But defensively held strong again. The throw comes back in towards Kane. Right-hand side of the box. He tries to feed it towards the edge of the area. Comes back. Chance here for 3, but it's not kept down by Gnabry once again. And he's had a number of chances in this game. They can't keep affording him more and more opportunities. It was a throw from the far side. It went back, played forward towards Kane, the edge of the area. He just drags it back towards Gnabry. It looked like it might have taken a touch on the way through from a Frankfurt player, but from 10 yards out towards the left-hand side of the box, Gnabry couldn't keep it down. He's gone out for a corner kick, actually, so it must have taken another touch when he has taken the strike. I thought he might have just taken that shot and just not got around it, but the referee And on replay, looks like it has just taken a slight touch. So Kimmich is going to come across to take this one. It's taken short towards Elise on the left-hand corner of the area. Under a bit of pressure, so he's got to go back towards Kimmich on the left-hand side. Drains it onto his left. Lofts it in towards the box, towards Kane. Can't quite find Kane. Back in towards Kane and off the post and out for a goal kick. And how he's not scored another there, Harry Kane, I'll never know. He got lucky that it came back through to him. Kimmich with the cross in towards the box, looking for Kane. It was dealt with on the first instance by Koch. It then came back in towards Upamecano. He got his head onto it, and it fell ever so kindly to Harry. Testing. Apologies. I just looked over. Make sure you can all still hear me. Thank you for your patience. Patience there. Nothing too much has happened since you've, I hope, last heard me. 12 minutes gone in this second half. It's Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 2 still. Harry Kane with the shot off the left upright. As he looks at the goal, and Harry Kane back on the ball now, feeds it in towards Lehmann on the left-hand side, just slightly too far for him, so he's got to try and drag it back, but Robin Koch is there to intercept. Goes back towards Lehmann, but good defensive work from the hosts. Forced Bayern Munich back. But when we say Bayern Munich are being forced back in this second half, they're sitting high up in the Frankfurt half here. Frankfurt camping on the edge of their own box. Munich halfway inside the Frankfurt half. And we looked at half time as where the positions of the players were excuse me, in that first half. And it felt pretty even. Both teams in and around the centre of the pitch. If you look at it for the start of this second half, the first 15 minutes, you'll see Bayern Munich are looking for that killer blow as the overlap almost finds its way through from Gnabry to Bowie at the back. Ball well intercepted again. Just trying to feed it in towards Sacha Bowie, the 25-year-old Frenchman who joined from Galatasaray. As he's played down the right-hand side looking towards Dome, been quite quiet. He had the it wasn't an assist for him, actually. It was actually fed through towards Larsson. Larsson's this time shot went towards Bohoyer in that first half. Buta just receiving a little bit of treatment as Duan wins the free kick, and I think rather soft on the left-hand side, but it's taken quickly by Frankfurt. They spread it towards the far left-hand side. Opportunity then here for them to try and get something in towards the boxes. Back towards the edge of the area towards Bohoyer. Got a man towards his left-hand side in Larson. Can't quite feed it to him, so he's forced over to the touchline. And now Frankfurt will have to find another way through. As Bayern have got numbers back. Liverpool have equalised against Chelsea in the Premier League. It's Buta. Back with Koch. With Duan. Cody Gakpo, the man with the goal. Isak with the assist. Bayern Munich come away with the ball again. Harry Kane sends it over the top, looking for the run of Diaz in his stride, takes a chest down, corner of the area, lays it across towards Gnabry on the edge of the box, getting his feet all muddled, takes it onto his left. Good defensive work in the end by Robin Koch. And I think he in the end has ended up coming off a hand of Gnabry as he tried to control it a second time. It did. He just couldn't quite get his feet right on the first time, on the first opportunity he had there on the edge of the air. It was a lovely ball from Kane over the top towards Diaz in his stride, took it on his chest, laid it across the box towards Gnabry, got his feet in a muddle, took it onto his left. It looked like the chance had gone, then the chance had come back again, but Koch doing just enough. And now the pressure mounts on Frankfurt, and Santos, who's under pressure from Elise, just puts it out over on the far side for a throw-in. 30 minutes left to play in this game. Bayern Munich lead by 2-0 here in Frankfurt, also known as Manhattan for its skyscrapers. A play on New York Manhattan. Always like to see those fun, amusing references for places. Free kick goes Munich's way just inside their own half, taken quickly by Tar. Back towards Upamecano. Sends it in towards the middle, towards Gnabry. His first touch and pass, looking towards Pavlovic, is a poor one. Picked up well by Frankfurt, but again a bit of pressure forces them back into their own box, looking towards Santos, but he's all on his own towards the right-hand side. As the home team just try and find some momentum in this game. They're struggling to get hold of the ball. Bayern doing what they do best, and it's just dominate possession. They wear you down. They give you that little bit of time to have a breather, and then they find the killer pass through. Open you up and get you running again. It's tiring for oppositions. It's been excellent football from Bayern Munich. We expect nothing less. If they don't win, it certainly is a surprise. I don't think even they thought they would have the start to the season that they've had, on for 10 wins in a row. The first side in the top 5 divisions of Europe to ever do that. Lehmer back towards Diaz on the edge of the area towards Kane, lays it off towards Kimmich. Kimmich with the strike when it's blocked by Koch, who's there again. Defensively, he's been solid at the back as Robin Koch. He's got his body on the line a number of times behind the ball. He almost put it into his own goal in the first half when it came off the crossbar. But he did just enough then, just as he's done just enough now. The ball back with Manuel Neuer, halfway inside his own half. 64 minutes on the clock here at the Deutsche Bank Park. Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 2 was the long ball, looking for Lehmer on this near left-hand side, just beats him to it and bounces out for the goal, for the throw-in. And it's going to be the first changes of the afternoon for Frankfurt. Top scorer Uzun isn't going to keep the record of being the only player in the top 5 leagues in Europe to score in every league game at the start of this season, as he makes way for Ansgar Knauf, and Larsen in the midfield comes off for Chaibi. 2 quick substitutions there. Knauf, a young man, German, 3 goals to his name this season. And Chaibi, a 22-year-old Algerian who joined from Toulouse last season. He makes his way on to try and shore up that midfield, which is being overrun by Munich at this time. It's being overrun again by Diaz, who tries to feed it in towards Kane, kept on running in towards the box, and he ends up going down and giving away a free kick, just left a leg in on the edge of the Frankfurt box as he just lost the possession on the edge of the area. He just laid his foot in there to try and win it back under the challenge. He's certainly putting in plenty of effort. He's the Munich man. Well, what can Frankfurt do here? 2 changes have been made then. There's Doan on the ball inside Munich territory, trying to find a bit of space and find players in space, but they're all being crowded out. Well, they've worked it over towards the left-hand side. Ball goes in towards the box, but dealt with comfortably by Upamecano, who just puts his foot through it and sends it into no man's land in Frankfurt territory. As they'll start again from the back with Robin Koch. Looks up down the right-hand side, but that's a poor ball forward. Straight out for a throw-in as he was looking for the Japanese wide man, Ritsu Doan. 4 goals to his name in 8 games this season. He'd love to find another. There's Bowie with a poor touch on the far side, almost gives it away, and then a coming together between Kimmich and Bohoya leaves them both on the ground. The free kick goes Munich's way. Poor one really from Bowie. He's the one that caused that collision. Bohoya and Kimmich both rightly able to go for that one. 50-50, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Well, both are back to their feet. Just over 22 minutes for Frankfurt to find something from this game. They've scored near enough every game this season. They're struggling to put the pressure on. It just feels like the goal that was disallowed just took any momentum away from Frankfurt that would have given them the roar in the crowd. And when that went in, signalled the questions that could have been raised of Bayern Munich. But since then, it has been all Bayern. They've controlled the game. They've controlled the scoreline since the opening 16 seconds of the game. As Buta tries to get himself forward, he's dragged down by Luis Diaz, who's going to find himself in the referee's book. It's a good run from Buta. He just changed gears, drove past Diaz, who just got tangled up in him, drags him down halfway inside the Bayern half. It's good, sensible play from Diaz, really. Stop the advance, but there is an opportunity to put the ball into the box. Chaibi and Doan standing over this one. That's the 3rd booking of the season for Luis Diaz. There's one in the wall, about 15 yards outside of the penalty area, maybe just a little bit further, very central. Similar to, if you remember years ago, where Ronaldo put a free kick in against Porto in the Champions League. That sort of range. So it takes something special to challenge Neuer from there. It's floated in by Chaibi. It's a really poor ball, but it's found its way towards the far side. Back towards Doan. Doan with a strike, but it's left well wide in the end of Neuer's left upright. It might, for one moment, it looked like it might have just trickled into the bottom corner. It was a really poor free kick from Chaibi. Came over towards the left-hand side, towards Brown. Brown fed it back across the box towards Doan, who got his left foot around it and just couldn't quite find the bottom left-hand corner of Neuer's goal. And goes out in the end for a goal kick. There's another change is going to be made this time for Bayern Munich, and Gnabry, who has probably deserved something from this game. It's a plenty of efforts. He's had a really, really good game. He makes way for Guerrero. He comes on in place of Serge Gnabry. 8 years he spent with the club since joining from Arsenal. Guerrero, the man, is going to fill in that role in the midfield. Less than 20 minutes to go then in this contest here in Frankfurt. The sun has set. Winter is coming. But Munich continue to light up the league. As it stands, they'll go 4 points clear at the top. Dortmund slipped up earlier on when they drew 1-1 at home to Red Bull Leipzig. We're also just underneath Bayern Munich in the table, second against thirds as it stands. Munich would be on 18 points, Dortmund then 14, Leipzig 13, and Bayer Leverkusen on 11. Frankfurt then in 6th, just behind Cologne, who are having a good start to the season themselves. And Frankfurt, who finished 3rd last season, sitting on 9 points that stands from their 3 games in 6th places. Back with Diaz on this near side, just works it towards his left-hand side, trying to take on Puta, but Puta stands him up really well. Back towards Lehmer, takes it on to his right, looks up to put a crossing towards the box, decides against it. In towards Tar and Kimmich, linking up well. Here's Bayern Munich now, just working the ball from left to right with Upamecano. Sends it over and back in towards Kimmich. Forced back, poor pass from Kimmich, though it's picked up well by Knaufi. Tries to send it through, but his pass surrounded by 5 Munich players right on the edge of their own box, and they're coming away with the ball again, this time with Pavlovic. Down the left-hand side is Diaz, who's been lively as ever in this game, and as it stands, has surely been man of the match. Right of these two teams, in towards Kane. Kane looks up, links in towards Kimmich, back in towards Kimmich, who can't quite wriggle free and get himself peeled off his man at the edge of the area, and Frankfurt will clear it once again. Lima lays it off towards Kane, sends it towards the right, towards Guerrero. Elise, far corner of the area, tries to slip in Harry Kane as well, but it cleared halfway towards the halfway line, towards Bowie, who's sitting more centrally now after those substitutions have been made, and they're just all wanting the ball here, Bayern Munich. They're playing with confidence, they're playing with freedom, and the players don't particularly seem to have positions in this second half. They're all free-flowing, and it's working wonders. It's causing trouble for Eintracht Frankfurt, who can't seem to get hold of the ball. Never mind, they've got a goal on the scoreboard. Still Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1 in the Premier League. Over in England, Bilbao still beating Mallorca by a goal, still 15 minutes to play in that one. In France, Brest and Nantes is 1-1. Galatasaray losing at half-time in Turkey to Besiktas. Looking to the left-hand side towards Diaz, but another good interception from Buta. Whilst Diaz has had an excellent game on this near side, Buta has actually done quite well to keep him less busy than he otherwise might have been. Played in towards the middle, towards Elise. Just skips past one, works himself past another, back towards Diaz, trying to link up on the edge of the area. A poor touch though. Diaz wins it back. Doan under pressure, but the flag over on the far side from Jan Seidel. Gives the offside. It was the poor touch from Elise. It went towards Leimer. Konrad Leimer, the 28-year-old Austrian, who joined from Red Bull Leipzig in 2023. A man that just strayed a little bit too far. But it's over on the right-hand side again as Munich just trying find their way past the man over on the far side, but Brown not going to be bullied into giving away territory. With Captain Koch back towards Theatre on the edge of his own D. Brings Koch into play again on the near side, just flicked around the corner, intercepted well by Upamecano. Kimmich over towards Elise on the right side, got some space for him to run into, and it's deflected through from Brown, but goes safely in towards Santos. Could have gone anywhere from that ball in towards the box. As Kimmich just fed it in towards Elise. Elise with his right, just trying to slip in. Harry Kane there. Diaz coming in at the back post once again. And it looked like it might have taken a slight touch off Theatre. Able to get the ball forward. Back towards Manuel Neuer. Not had too many touches himself in this one. Particularly in the second half with 13.5 minutes to play. Bayern Munich now just playing the possession game, working it around the pitch, getting Frankfurt moving. They sense another opportunity, I'm sure they will go for it. They had just their, I say just actually, just is not the right word. They had the 99 goals in the league last season. They want to be the first team to break 100. They are certainly on for that. I'm sure they'll want to keep their record of scoring at least 3 in their last 8 games. It's a nice, difficult decision to have of whether you want to see a game out or continue a wonderful record like that. Completely different to the team I supported in Rotherham, when all you want from them is to see a win, never mind 10 in a row and convincingly with 3 goals every time. But it's going to be 2 changes from Frankfurt. Højlund comes on for Skiri in the midfield. Oscar Højlund. There's going to be a second change as well, with former Bayern Munich man Mario Götze coming on from Bahayo on the left-hand side. The 33-year-old German, World Cup winning goal to his name, a German legend for all time's sake. It's the free kick from Frankfurt, sent long and out for a goal kick to Munich. Mario Götze, the man to make his way on. 36 goals in 114 games for Munich, 2 spells at Dortmund in his 4th season with Frankfurt. And I'm sure his record would have been far greater if it wasn't for his health issues that he had from 2017. And we're glad to see he was able to continue playing football with his muscle injuries. Forgive me, I can't remember exactly what injury was called, but it's where your muscles didn't do exactly what they were supposed to do. But it's great to see him back on the pitch as a Frankfurt man. Goes into the book for the foul on Pavlovic, and it was Burkhardt who just followed through on Pavlovic. Munich have the free kick 15, 20 yards inside their own half. It's sent towards the left-hand side towards Leimer. Bit of space run into into on this near side, but Doan does well to recover and get it back. Back towards, though, to Harry Kane. Brings Pavlovic into play, across towards Bowie. Now Elise, hugging the touchline over on the far side level with the edge of the Frankfurt penalty area. Good defending, though, from Frankfurt, forces Munich back towards Upamecano, just inside the Frankfurt half, and his pass going forward, picked off well by Koch, and the ball goes forward, and then the free kick goes Frankfurt's way. As Bowie just commits the foul there. And Oscar Højlund, the 20-year-old Dane, the other substitute to come on. He's the twin of Schalke player Emil Højlund, and he's also a younger brother of Rasmus Højlund, formerly of Man United, having a great time at Napoli like so many strikers do. Fed in towards Kane. Kane goes down in the area. Oh, and the linesman's flag goes up over on the far side. Kane got there ahead of Santos in the box. He goes down under the challenge. It's going to be looked at again. He is miles offside. It's absolutely fine for Frankfurt there. It was Lehmer who fed him through. He was taken out by Santos. The referee put the whistle to his mouth, waited to point to the spot. The linesman's flag, though. Jan Seidel over on the far side goes up and saves Santos's blushes. That would have been a penalty. It would have been an opportunity for Harry Kane to add another. Harry Kane is going to receive a little bit of ice to his right ankle, and that's not what anyone wants to see. Munich or England will never want to see Harry Kane in a little bit of pain. As we look again on the screen, this time from the referee's angle, he was in a perfect position. Was Daniel Siebert, the referee. He was going to point to the spot. The linesman's flag goes up. And gives Frankfurt the opportunity to slow the game down, bring on another player, this time Burkhardt on that booking, going to make his way off for Wahi. Who comes on for the big number 9, who's had a tough game today. He just couldn't find his stride up front. Struggled to find players to link with. And Harry Kane is limping over on the far side. He's on the left-hand side. He's received some treatment. He's back to his feet. And he is slightly limping. Could that be the end of Harry Kane's day? We'll hope not. He is trying to run it off on the touchline as he makes his way back towards the halfway line. For the time being, though, the game's back underway and Munich are down to 10 men. So Frankfurt have the extra man momentarily. Spread across towards the far left-hand side towards Chaibi. Into the middle towards Wahi. Over towards this near right-hand side towards Doan. Højlund sends it in again towards the left. Harry Kane back on the pitch and looking fine once again. 7 minutes to play in this game. It's with Theod in towards Højlund. In the middle, you can spot a Højlund from a long distance away with their bleach blonde hair. As the cross tries to make its way in from Buta, but out for a throw in on the near side. He takes the throw in quickly himself. Brings Knalf into play across towards Højlund, but Højlund can't get that opportunity then for Munich to break, this time with Guerrero. Space in between. Elise's got it to his right hand side. Diaz towards the left. He finds Diaz, getting himself in towards the box. Players have got back, turns it on to his left. Chance for 3, and there it is. Game, set, and match. Bayern Munich. Luis Diaz has had an absolute wonderful game, and he seals this game off with 6 minutes to go. It was a poor pass in their own half from Frankfurt, looking towards Højlund. Højlund with a Gerrard-esque slip in the Munich half. It was picked up by Guerrero, who had plenty of space to run into. Elise went to the right, drew a few players over to that side. Diaz came to the left. Guerrero fed it through towards Diaz. He took it on to his right. He feigned to shoot with that side. He did. Robin Koch then, he took him back in towards, almost broke his ankles, took it towards his left-hand side, and he just hammered it home. It's taken a slight nick off the post on the way through from Luis Diaz, but what a game. He has had 2 goals and an assist now to his name. Santos couldn't do anything about that one, and Bayern Munich, for the 9th game in a row, have scored 3 goals, and Luis Diaz, with his 6th goal in 10 games, has won this now for Bayern Munich. Harry Kane's gone off in the celebrations for Nicholas Jackson. He's continued his wonderful record this season, 18 goals for him in all competitions. But Luis Diaz must find it difficult time and time again to outshine Harry Kane. Well, today he has shone bright like a diamond. And on this near side, he has caused a world of trouble. Buta, as we mentioned earlier, has done well enough to keep him as quiet as he has been as he tries to get another ball back across. Could it be 4? And it's almost reached there by Elise. Diaz just couldn't quite get it on the outside of his boots. Just tried to play between keeper and the back line. And Elise couldn't quite get to it. I think if it might have been 45 minutes earlier in the game, Elise might have got hold of that one. So Kane's come off. As we mentioned, Nicholas Jackson is the man to come on, the 22-year-old Senegalese, 24 goals and 65 for Chelsea. Got his first goal for Bayern Munich against Paphos in the week. Finally opened his account for Munich. He got his first outing, if you remember, against Chelsea. His first start apologies against Chelsea in the Champions League. That must have been satisfying for him after the tumultuous event of him trying to break away. He was on the plane to Munich when Liam Delap got injured in Chelsea's early kickoff. The phone call came in, turned the plane around. Jackson and his agent said no, and what was going to be just a loan deal to Bayern Munich turned into a loan with the obligation to buy. And Jackson broke free from Chelsea, and he'll be hoping that maybe he can add something to this game. But there's 3 minutes to go here in Frankfurt. It's Frankfurt 0, Bayern Munich 3. Luis Diaz 2 goals and an assist. It's over on the right hand side with Elise. Just goes into the back of Nathaniel Brown. The far side, and both just have a little bit of afters, a few words exchanged between each other, but the free kick goes Frankfurt's way, and it might be another substitution as well. This time there's going to be 2 more for Bayern Munich. And it's going to be Bowie, the man to come off, and goal scorer Luis Diaz. Tom Bischoff, the 20-year-old from Hoffenheim, makes his way on for Bowie. And Luis Diaz gets the round of applause, a standing ovation from the Bayern fans that have made the journey. He opened the scoring 16 seconds into the game and then finished the game off 4 minutes from time. And it's Lennart Karl, the 17-year-old, who's coming on for another game to his name for Bayern Munich. A real talent is Lennart Karl. 34 goals and 11 assists in 30 games last season for Bayern's youth team. He did get the assist for Harry Kane's first goal against Hoffenheim the other week from a really well-taken corner over on the far side, and he makes his way on for the final few moments of this game. There's 90 seconds plus any stoppage time. There may be 4 or 5 minutes of that with the substitutions, but with the game pretty much wrapped up here. Well, I say pretty much wrapped up. It is wrapped up here in Frankfurt. Fans starting to leave over on the far side there, showing some frustration. But it is one of those for Frankfurt. Their season won't be judged on games against Bayern Munich. They certainly won't be. Everybody that's come across Bayern Munich this season has had a very, very difficult time of it. Just conceding 3, I think, has been an achievement in itself for Frankfurt if they want to take a positive out of it, because Bayern have been demolishing teams time and time again. But they are going to break further records. Harry Kane's going to continue his wonderful streak this season. Continues to add the goals. It's Luis Diaz's day. And it's going to be Bayern's day as well. As we wait to see how many minutes will be added on. And it is going to be 4 minutes added on. And Vincent Kompany on the near side will be delighted with his side display once again on the road. He'll be 6 wins from 6 in the league. They'll be 4 points clear at the top. They've scored first in all 10 games this season. They're on for their 4th clean sheet in the opening 10 games as well. They've scored 3 in their last 9 games. That record continues. They've got the best start in Bundesliga history. That's going to continue. They're going to be the first team in top 5 European League history to win their opening 10 games in all competitions. Records continue to fall. It's the 8th straight league win in a row. It's the best under Vincent Kompany. They are still 6 away from the previous best, which was 14 under Hans Flick in 2020. But the former Bayern assistant manager Dino Topmüller just couldn't find the right formula to upend this Bayern team. Nicholas Jackson feeds it over to the right hand side of the area towards Elise. Skips past one, tries to drive towards the edge, just can't quite get his cross, but it's well blocked by Brown and out for a corner kick with 2.5 minutes of stoppage time to play here. The game is done. But can Bayern add something from this corner? They don't take it into the corner. And certainly when you've got a 3-goal lead, you don't need to. It looked like it might have been a different story in that first half. Bayern took a little bit of time to warm up. Harry Kane's got an ice pack on his right foot. We'll hope that's just precautionary and he just took a little bit of a bruising, and that he'll be back for Bayern's next outing. Is the corner from the far side, swung in towards the far post. The header can't quite reach another Bayern player there from Upper Meccano, and it falls kindly to Santos in the goal. As Bayern will turn their attention to their next game against Borussia Dortmund in 2 weeks' time after the international break. And they'll still be top of the pile after that one, after Dortmund slipped up earlier on. And Liverpool, who've won games this season in the 96th minute, have found themselves 2-1 behind to Chelsea in the 96th minute at Stamford Bridge. And it's been a horrible, horrible couple of days for Liverpool. But can Frankfurt find something down this left-hand side? Good interception. Estevio, the man with the winner there. Cucurella with the assist. It's the time here for a corner kick for Frankfurt. 45 seconds left on the clock. On the far side, with Chaibi standing over it. Can they find a consolation? Can they give themselves something to cheer? Goes in towards the near post, comes back off Kimmich. Rinse and repeat for Frankfurt. Who themselves will want to forget this week. 8 goals conceded in a matter of days against 2 top teams. It's brought back in this time again towards the near post. It's 2 poor corners. Kimmich this time clears it out towards the far side. It's returned back in. Pavlovic puts his foot through it. Frankfurt have Freiburg next in 2 weeks' time when action returns after the break, and Freiburg sitting just below them, 8th in the table, 7 points. His time is now over the 4 minutes. And there is the full-time whistle here at the Deutsche Bank Park. Bayern Munich continue to step leaps and bounds ahead of the rest of the pack. They move 4 points clear at the top of the table, and a week when a legend in Philipp Lahm was given the Order of Merit by the club with his wonderful amount of appearances, goals and titles. Vincent Kompany breaks his own records as well. 8 straight league wins in a row, 10 wins in a row in all competitions. Bayern go from strength to strength. Harry Kane adds to his goals, 18 now for him in 10 days, but it was Luis Diaz, the man that separated these two sides. He got the first goal 17 seconds into this game, where he poked home a Gnabry cross from the right-hand side. It was almost 2-0 when Elise broke down the right. His cross